In the heart of a forgotten town, shrouded in the mists of time and overlooked by the modern world, stood a mansion that whispered tales of the past through its dilapidated structure. This mansion, with its steep gables, towering chimneys, and windows that blinked like wary eyes into the night, was home to two sisters, Emily and Sarah. Emily, with her long brown hair that cascaded like a waterfall down her back, and big curious eyes that seemed to hold a world of innocence, found joy in the smallest of things. Sarah, on the other hand, was the embodiment of teenage rebellion. Her short black hair and skeptical nature set her apart from her younger sister in more ways than one. One autumn evening, as the wind howled like a chorus of lost souls around the mansion, a package arrived for Emily. It was an unexpected gift, wrapped in paper that seemed as old as the mansion itself, tied with a string that whispered secrets. Inside lay a beautiful antique doll, its porcelain skin marred by cracks that told tales of a bygone era, its glassy eyes reflecting a soul that seemed almost too real, and a smile that was unsettling in its innocence. Emily was instantly enchanted by the doll, naming her Annabelle, and she carried it everywhere, unaware of the darkness that had entered their home. As days turned into nights, and the moon waxed and waned, strange occurrences began to unfold within the mansion. Objects moved of their own accord, as if invisible hands guided them through the air. Eerie whispers snaked through the hallways, rising and falling with the wind, speaking in tongues that only the house seemed to understand. In Emily, she began to have nightmares, visions of shadows dancing in the dark, their whispers turning into screams that echoed within her mind. Despite Emily's growing fear, Sarah remained skeptical. She dismissed the strange occurrences as tricks of the mind, the products of an overactive imagination fueled by the stories that clung to the walls of their ancient home. That was until one fateful night when the doll, Annabelle, revealed her true nature. Sarah awoke to find the doll sitting at the foot of her bed, its glassy eyes glowing in the darkness, a sinister smile etched upon its porcelain face. Frozen in terror, Sarah watched as the doll moved, its cracked limbs bending in ways that defied the natural order, as it whispered secrets that no human was meant to hear. From that moment on, Sarah could no longer deny the darkness that had entered their home. The sisters realized that they were dealing with a malevolent presence, one that sought to do them harm. Together, they embarked on a quest to uncover the origins of the doll, delving into the mansion's past, searching through dusty tomes and ancient records that spoke of rituals and curses long forgotten. They learned of a demon bound to the doll by a sorcerer whose heart was as dark as the night, seeking to break free from its porcelain prison. Armed with this knowledge, Emily and Sarah crafted a plan to rid themselves of the demon once and for all. They performed a ritual, one that required all their strength and courage, chanting ancient words that vibrated through the air, shaking the very foundation of the mansion. And for a moment, it seemed as though they had succeeded. The doll lay motionless, its sinister smile replaced by a blank stare, the malevolence that had radiated from it gone. But their victory was short-lived. In the days that followed, a chilling realization dawned upon them. The demon had not been destroyed. Instead, it had found a new vessel. One of the sisters had become its host, the evil manifesting in subtle ways that soon became impossible to ignore. Objects didn't just move, they shattered against walls. Whispers didn't just fill the air, they screamed of death and despair. And in the mirror, they saw not their reflections, but the dark, twisted visage of the demon that now resided within. The confrontation that followed was one of heart-wrenching terror. The sisters, who had faced the darkness together, were now torn apart by it. It was a battle of wills, a fight for the very soul of the one who had been possessed. In the end, it was love that saved them. The unbreakable bond between Emily and Sarah proved stronger than the demon's hold. Through tears and blood, they managed to break the curse, expelling the demon back into the abyss from which it came. The mansion fell silent once more, its whispers fading into the night. Emily and Sarah emerged from their ordeal forever changed. their innocence lost to the shadows that had danced in the dark. They knew that the world was filled with mysteries, some beautiful and some terrifying. And as they stood together looking out into the night, they realized that they had each other, and that was all they needed to face whatever lay ahead. The doll, Annabelle, was buried beneath an ancient oak in the mansion's garden, a final resting place to contain the darkness that had once threatened to consume them. And as the seasons changed, as the leaves fell and the snow blanketed the ground, the mansion whispered its tales of the past, of two sisters who had faced the darkness and emerged victorious. But in the shadows, something always lurked, a reminder that some doors once opened can never be fully closed.